Hi everybody, it's Meg from Books Off the Beaten Path. Sorry about the darkness on one side. I don't have my light hooked up and I apologize for that. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a first ever go back through what I read in 2023. This isn't all of what I read, but these are some of my favorites that I read and I just want to share them again with you. So these are in no particular order and we're just going to dive right in and kind of chat them up a little bit. Mary Roberts Rinehart, The Haunted Lady. This is a reread for me. It's a classic mystery. It takes place in an old house where a woman believes that she is being haunted, in that relatives are trying to scare her to death by bringing in rats and bats to her enclosed room. Nobody can figure out how this is happening. That noise that you are hearing is the cat destroying an Amazon package. So I'll just move that over there and let's hope that that noise goes away. Okay, so back to the haunted lady. So and there goes Moose. I don't know what to tell you. So there's so many distractions. But I'm going to get through this. I filmed this about 3 times already, and it's just an absolute chaos here at the house. Okay, so the haunted lady, older lady, thinks that somebody is trying to scare her to death by sneaking in rats and bats into her room. And it takes our nurse, Hilda, aka Miss Pinkerton, to come into the house and figure out exactly what's going on. Now, we all know how much I love Mary Roberts Rinehart. We know that. She's one of my all-time favorite classic mystery writers. This was a reread for me because I had not read this. I didn't have this particular copy. Love the cover. The back gives you the map so that, and I actually used it as I was going through the night of the murder, where everybody was and all that kind of stuff. So that was a lot of fun. So if you're looking for a really good mystery that you can figure out because you're given all the clues, then check out The Haunted Lady by Mary Roberts Rinehart. Okay. Julie builds her dream castle. This was teen fiction at its best. It's 1960-ish, I think. And anyway, it's 1960-ish or late 1950s, and we follow Julie, whose father is kind of a bohemian. He's an artist, and that embarrasses her. She wants him to have like a real normal job, but he takes them to Cape Cod in order to paint the ocean. And she doesn't particularly want to go. She's a city girl. She's not really into the whole, seaside living. But she does have a wonderful summer. She falls in love. She falls out of love. It is swoon worthy. If you can find this one, it'll really, I think it'll really lighten your mood. And it's so angsty. And I just loved it. Loved it to the end. Okay. Cherry Ames, Flight Nurse. Now, what can you say about Cherry Ames other than she is the epitome of the greatest generation? She is selfless and loyal and dedicated and patriotic and just a whole bag of fun. She is a flight nurse in this one during World War II. And here's the illustration of her. I don't know if you can see, they're the patients stacked up inside the airplane and she's tending to them. This one, I just can't get enough of Cherry Ames, and I want to complete my collection, but I want to find them. I could go on and just order them, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to seek them out and find them and see how they come to me and let destiny just do what it needs to do. But Cherry Ames, if you want to read a book about the greatest generation, when the greatest generation was current, this was current for its time, then check out Cherry Ames, Flight Nurse. The Secret of the Old Clock by Nancy Drew. This was the first Nancy Drew, and boy, was it a doozy. We get Nancy at her finest. She is smart, she is funny, she is brave, she's got her roadster, and she's an excellent driver, and they tell us several times that she's an excellent driver. And I think that that must have been such a boon for young women at that age, because I can't imagine that young women would have a lot of cars. Let's see when this was copyrighted. Copywritten 1930. So I can't imagine that young women in 1930 would have a lot of their own cars, but it goes through and it talks about what an excellent driver she is, because she gets stuck in the mud a couple of times and she has to change the tire at one point and everything. And The Secret of the Old Clock is just a doozy. It's a wonderful mystery. It's very heartwarming, and we get Nancy Drew for the first time. We meet our heroine, and it's a must-read if you're a Nancy Drew fan. But if you're a Nancy Drew fan, you've already read it. The Secret of Dr. Kildare. This was a really good one. This one, Dr. Kildare has to help a patient who has a pathological fear of doctors. And so he can't reveal that he is a doctor while he is helping her. And this one, I love Dr. Kildare, because Dr. Kildare, you know, I mean, he tries to do the right thing all the time, but sometimes he just gets everybody around him irritated so much. But Dr. Kildare, if you can find these older ones, it's wonderful about the medicine of the time, kind of like Cherry Ames. You've got the whole medicine of the time, which I thought was very interesting. But this one, where he has to keep the secret and he has to try and help this young woman without revealing that he's a doctor, super fun. I enjoyed that. Date with a Career. Oh, loved it. I loved this one. This one was really good because she wants to go to art school and she doesn't get in. She doesn't get into art school. And so how does she handle that? How does she cope with that? This is another kind of fish out of water. She's from I think she's from New York City, and then she goes to stay in this small town. And she has to go to school there for her last year of school, and there's a blizzard in it, and the blizzard cancels the senior play. So, shocker, what are they gonna do? Date with a Career was wonderful. If you can find it, you'll enjoy it. Dark Shadows. Oh, I was so excited when I found this, because I remember watching this show. Now, I watched it in reruns. I'm not that old. But there's Barnabas Collins, and there's Victoria Winters. And in this one, we didn't have Barnabas at all. We just had Victoria getting her position at Collins' house and kind of setting up what the soap opera series is going to be about. And it was a find. I was so excited. It was based off of the ABC soap opera. And so, you know, it wasn't like the book turned into the soap opera. It was like the soap opera turned into the book. And I think sometimes those are actually more fun. This one was fantastic. If you're not familiar with Dark Shadows, look it up, get on YouTube. It's wonderful. And so I found this one, and it was a great gothic read. Lots of creaking doors and howling wind, and it was totally fun. Okay. The Man from U.N.C.L.E., The Vampire Affair. Ooh, I want to move my fingers. So that's Ilya Kuryakin, and that's Napoleon Solo, and they are the men from U.N.C.L.E. And it's U.N.C.L.E. stands for United Nations something, something, something. I don't remember what it stands for. I could look it up, but I'm sure that we don't have enough time for me to look it up. Anyway, in this one, they're going to Transylvania. They're dealing with vampires, and at the end, you don't know what's real and you don't know what's not real, and it was a lot of fun. Again, this one was a TV series first, and then it became a series of books that you could buy because the TV series was so popular. I'm dying to find another one. I'm not going to go out and order it. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, Meg, for your collection, just go on and find them, and you can get them from Amazon. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to find them at used bookstores as they come to me, because as I'm looking at used bookstores, I usually find some other stuff that I love. Okay, last one. Dorothy L. Sayers' Strong Poison. Now, this is another classic mystery from the Golden Age of Mysteries. This is the first one where we are introduced to Harriet Vane, who I believe eventually becomes Lord Peter Wimsey's wife. In this one, she is accused of being a poisoner, and Lord Peter Wimsey has to solve the mystery while he is very attracted to Harriet Vane. And he has to kind of separate, what, could she be a poisoner, or is he just really taking up her side because he's attracted to her? This one was a lot of fun. This one was very Golden Age. It was very, cocktail hour, and you didn't have a lot of blood and gore in it or anything like that. And again, Dorothy L. Sayers gives you a lot of the clues. I think she gives you all the clues. I don't want to say that and then have a comment say she doesn't give you all the clues, but I think she does give you all the clues. Not like Agatha Christie, who I love, but we all know what Aggie does. Aggie doesn't, she withholds that clue or that character till the very end. So those were some of the ones that I read over 2023, and I just want to say I hope you had a great 2023. I know we've still got a little bit of it left, and I hope you have a great 2024. I want to thank all of my new subscribers. I want to get some more subscribers in 2024. So I will check you later, and I hope you have a wonderful and happy and blessed new year.